Crompton comes out for three, drains it. Chance for a 2-for-1 if the Hawkeyes hurry. Clark obliges. Moore, reverse, it's good, and a foul. Wildcats looking for their first lead of the night. Satterwhite gives it to him with a three, and it's 21-19. Kudelka off the feed from Newland, counted, and the foul for Lexi Kudelka, who continues to have a great game. Mott hands it off to Pulliam. Free throw line J is pure. In the second quarter, Collier steps into a three. Nothing but net for Kiera Collier, with 7 points in her return to the lineup. Peebles, quick trigger three, another make for Illinois. Here's Clark, the escape dribble into the three-pointer. You are watching The Valley on ESPN. Today it's the front end of a back-to-back between the visiting Purple Aces of Evansville and the Illinois State Redbirds. Hello everybody, welcome inside Redbird Arena. I'm Scott Sudikoff, joined by the former Valley Player of the Year, Marcus Wilson. Happy to have you with us here today as the Redbirds and the Aces play today and of course tomorrow. And as we look at the current MVC standings, you see that Illinois State is in the middle of the pack right now.
Exactly.
Now, it's been a tough season for Evansville, having lost 6 in a row, but a bright spot continues to be the sophomore Abby Fight. And Kelly, this is a great offense versus defensive matchup. Drake, one of the best offensively in the country. Meanwhile, Illinois State is 1 or 2 in most defensive categories in the Valley. The Valley on ESPN is brought to you by Toyota. Dear winter, almost nothing stands in the way of a new Toyota. And our new 2021 lineup is hotter than ever. Cozy up Toyota. Toyota, let's go places. Hey Kelly, let's go to the Missouri Valley Conference standings right now as we enter the weekend here. There's Drake at 10-3. Illinois State in the middle of the pack, but they still have a chance to make a pretty good move to the upper echelon.
You look at from third place till where Illinois State is at in 6th, there's a really tight gap of less than 2 games separating those 4 teams. And Drake, a lot of people weren't sure what the team this year would look like, having lost some really key pieces in Becca Hittner and Sarah Ryan, and they're right there at the top of the standings like you would expect.
Illinois State up by 2 as the second quarter begins, and a nice drive and finish from Kale Newland, who only plays about 8 minutes a game and scores less than 2 points a game, but she makes her presence known immediately. Inside to Maggie Bear, jump ball. They'll stay with Drake. Bulldogs with that victory on last weekend in Game 2 against Southern Illinois picked up their 10th conference win, a second consecutive season with double-figure victories in league play for Drake.
This year it's really impressive, though, because Drake's had a lot of injuries to some key players. You mentioned Maggie Bear and Kiera Collier, the starting point guard. Hannah Fuller really played only a couple games before she was out for the entire season. She was one of their senior leaders.
Remains Drake basketball with 12 on the shot clock. They're so good on these out-of-bounds plays.
Drake absolutely runs their out-of-bounds plays to perfection.
Kiera Collier getting her first bucket back in the lineup after missing the last 4. Little flare to Crompton, extra pass, Saylor.
The ball movement for Illinois State, though, has been so good today, making the extra pass, moving it around. Nobody is stagnant offensively.
Pretty finish by Mary Crompton, who went every which way to find an open shot and off the top of the glass. Berg answers as it rolls around and in.
Berg just so skilled on that block, uses her length, able to be a patient, use her pivot foot to get the look that she wants.
4 of 6 in the early going for Berg, who shoots over 53%, top 3 in the Valley. Redmond out to Saylor for 3, too strong, and the rebound secured by Courtney Becker. Monahan the other way for the Bulldogs. The entry pass too high for Bear. That is the 5th Drake turnover. Crompton to Redmond from the corner, knocks it down.
Again, making that extra pass, moving the ball around, so the defense is forced to adjust, and Redmond the beneficiary of the open three from the corner.
Shooting over 36% from beyond the three-point line. Her first points of the game today. Collier tries to answer. Offensive rebound. Bear goes right back up and scores.
Maggie Bear, Drake's top rebounder, and makes such an impact on the glass this year. Just camping out pretty much down low, had the inside position for that board.
Missed the last 5 games. Redmond stripped away by Bear. It'll stay Redbird basketball with 7:20 left in the second quarter as Wong and Kudelka are back in for Illinois State. And for Drake, Sarah Beth Gildner and Maya Mertz are back onto the floor. See Mary Crompton to the bench for the Redbirds. Illinois State has lost 3 in a row. A heartbreaker their last time out as Newland missed the 3. Kudelka, another rebound, patient, and finishes again. That was her 5th rebound, and she now has 6 points in only 5 minutes of action.
Kudelka's really carving out herself a niche on the offensive glass today. That's been really the difference maker for this Illinois State team so far in this first half.
18 points in the paint. Collier in the paint herself.
That's what's so tough about this Drake squad is their guards will post you up, and it's hard to simulate as a defense in practice. There's just not a lot of teams in the Missouri Valley Conference whose guards will post you up like Kiara Collier just did.
Saw those numbers flash on the screen. This is a paint game. 18 for the Redbirds, 16 for the Bulldogs. Kudelka, she wants 2 more. Got fouled.
What Kudelka is doing right now is she's getting behind the 2-3 zone, the backside of it, and the ball able to be threaded inside, so she's sealing off her defender, and it's forcing Drake's inside presences to foul her as a result.
Look at it here from Kudelka.
See Wong with a great pass, splitting the pink jerseys, and she's able to seal off Maya Mertz on her backside, and Mertz has no option there but to foul her.
So Kudelka, 7 points off the bench, averaging 4.5 per game this season. Junior from Nevada, Iowa. I believe that's the correct pronunciation, Nevada, not Nevada.
That is correct, yes.
Or Nevada, as we're here for the actual state. So hopefully our friends in Iowa are happy that we know that. Elka, very happy with the way she's been able to play here in the first half. Redbirds by 4, coming up on 6 minutes to play in the second quarter. Collier steps into a 3. Nothing but net for Kiara Collier with 7 points in her return to the lineup.
Collier does not look like a player who's missed 4 games with an injury.
Started her college career at the University of Washington, where she was an all-freshman honorable mention in the Pac-12.
We see Drake now in a man-to-man defense. That's something that really we did not see at all the last couple of seasons. It's pretty much been strictly a 2-3 zone, but this season the Bulldogs have gone to man-to-man at times a lot more than we've ever seen before.
So you look at Collier's numbers. Catch and shoot 3 from the top, buried. Allie Wooldridge. This is a battle of the top 2 3-point shooting teams in the Valley.
What makes Drake so tough offensively is that their bigs can step out and they can shoot that 3 ball. We saw Berg do it earlier, and Wooldridge knocking down the 3 the last time down the floor.
Kate Bowman able to tie it up for the Redbirds after a 6-0 run there from Drake. Halfway through the second quarter, and a good one brewing here at Redbird Arena. Burrich traveled. So it'll be Redbird basketball on the other side of a timeout. Absolutely nothing settled so far with 4:56 to go in the second quarter. Drake and Illinois State knotted up at 27. 7:39 to go in the third quarter. Northwestern 39, Illinois 24. Lindsey Pulliam has been finding her range with the mid-range shot.
Yeah, she's so good there from 15 to 16, 17, 18 feet. And it's just a smooth form, very repeatable for her. And that's why she can be so accurate.
So now 10 points on 5 of 12 shooting after the very slow start that she and Northwestern had as an offense in general. They began the game 0 for 12. Eva Rubin down low, up fakes and finishes.
Precisely what Illinois needs. If you take away that 0 for 12 start, Northwestern 16 of 26.
And Illinois led 19-9 after the first quarter. They've only scored 7 points since. Hamilton. Ephraim reaches in, and then Hamilton throws it away. Yeah, the way that had to have been, that has to be last touch by Hamilton. I mean, Ephraim did reach in and grab it, but Hamilton still had to finish the pass and throw it away there.
Yeah, the officials had to cross-check each other to make sure they had the call right.
Rubin slips it out to Ephraim, who has to save it. It's going to go back court.
Again, the idea was there for the inside out, but obviously execution didn't happen.
Cindy Wood inbounds it to Burton. Burton, who was named a semifinalist for the Naismith Defensive Player of the Year award yesterday.
You know, there was some discussion about that, the nature of that award on the men's side at Illinois because of Trent Frazier not getting a nomination, and Illinois men's head coach Brad Underwood basically saying that was a snub here as we look at some contact.
We're going over to the table to see, because Mott looked like some contact up high with Miles.
Yeah.
Contact after the foul.
So, I mean, it is what you called it. I mean, it was incidental. It's just a matter of, you know, how do you judge that? Because it was a hit to the face, but I'm okay with it. But I would have understood as well if they did call it something on Miles, have to travel. So Northwestern gets the basketball back. I mentioned Veronica's sisters who played college basketball as well. Kendall at Villanova, Kayla at Lehigh.
She's certainly the one that's ventured the furthest west.
Well, Northwestern, a big part of her parents' family, both mother and father, Northwestern graduates, and grandfather Ron, Northwestern Hall of Famer. Eva Rubin, a chance for a three-point play for the Illini.
If you're decisive, if you're effective in the post, this is where the one, you know, I guess call it weak spot of the designed defense. Posts can have good success with quick moves, and Eva Rubin is going to keep Illinois in this game if she keeps doing that.
See, Illinois, those 4 turnovers, but in the same span, they're 3 of 3 field goal-wise, and get a 3-point play from Rubin. So it's a 10-point game, 39-29 with 6:06 left to go in the third quarter. Wildcats looking for the sweep of the Illini this season, and it would be a 12th consecutive victory against their in-state rival. But Scott, you mentioned it a few times that both Coach Nancy Fay and players on the team are saying it's not really a rivalry until we get a couple of victories.
This would be the big one, and this is a big stop if Illinois can pull it off. Get this back to single digits.
Terry poked it away from Wood. Shot clock was winding down as Illinois gets the basketball, and then Rubin, I think Burton's hands have magnets for the basketball.
It is so demoralizing if you're an opponent because Illinois just did about everything right there defensively.
It's their third steal, and it leads to a Pulliam three-pointer. That is deflating. 13 points now for Pulliam, 7 here in the quarter. Ephraim to answer. Rebound by Anna Morris, the first year from Mahwah, New Jersey. Burton on the run. Trying to leave it off for Wood, throws it away, and that's a rare turnover by Burton as well. Her first turnover of the season. Well, that would be something.
Yeah.
First turnover of the game.
It was set up partially by Peebles, who stood to take a charge, and it caused Burton to second-guess what she wanted to do and threw it away.
She is second in the Big Ten, though, in assist-to-turnover ratio. Rubin, double comes, has to pass out of it, but Miles wasn't where she thought she would be. Leads to a lay-in. No, missed by Jordan Hamilton. She tried the right-handed layup on the left side of the rim there, and it kind of threw her off.
That's how I always did it.
Yeah.
Couldn't go left.
Terry has not scored today, and over the last 3 games, she has averaged about 5 points per game. I don't think she's even shot today. 0 for 1 shooting the basketball. Burton is 4 for 8 shooting the basketball and has 12 points.
Yeah, off the turnovers, they keep scoring. Boy, points off of them. It's now 27-6 for Northwestern.
15-point advantage.
Illinois with a brutal stat, 4th straight game now where they've had more than 20 turnovers.
Indiana, Maryland, Rutgers, and now Northwestern, the opponents. Rubin, the step back, too strong. Miles and Pulliam had a hold of her arm, and Lindsay does not agree. Will lead us to a timeout here with 3:45 left to go in the third quarter. All Wildcats right now leading the Illini by 15, 44-29 here on Big Ten Network Plus.